Hey, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's Ali, your favorite eccentric SLO-mad. Good morning or good evening to you guys from wherever you're watching, wherever you're tuning in. It's around 9:30 a.m. in the morning for me on my side of the world. Who's on the East Asia side of the world? I'm sitting out here South Italian, the southernmost point, I believe. I'm in Rawa, so I'm at the southernmost tip. And I thought I'd impart you guys with some good travel wisdom or inspiration for anybody who is considering getting out. Plan now or regret later. Got my 30-baht coffee from 7-Eleven because so many places when you get coffee, it's about the same thing, but you're paying 100 baht for it. So I got a quick coffee. I got some snacks. And I just want to share with you guys a little bit. Nothing spectacular. They make the containers childproof. Nothing like over the top. Stuff that you guys can figure out. But sometimes we need to hear, from the horse's mouth. And I'm going to be the horse today to share with you guys that this plan, this life, perfect with coffee, can be achieved by you. And you, and you, and you, and you. Yes, this life is for you. So if you jump on, let me know where you're watching from. What your travel experience is. If you're already abroad, or if you're planning to move abroad. If you're one of those people that you're freaking out, trying to figure out what are you going to do, especially if you live in the States, or any Western country where we have a lot of access. Because I think one of the big things is, and I want to acknowledge it, is a lot of times we'll say, get up and leave. Get your passport, pack your bags, but everybody can't do that. So this is really going to be more structured for the people who have access, who have the ability to, get visas, have exempt allowing passports, and have the means to do it. Because oftentimes, we're the ones, those of us who have that access, we're the ones who control the narrative. We control the money. We control how things move and shake. But you also have control. Dog don't like that. Try not to speak over the dog. Okay, so some of this is just to be a little inspirational, and show you what's possible. Because a lot of times I think we just assume, because we're in our little bubbles and we're living a life that has been programmed for us to live. You know, what are you going to do if you're not going to work every day? Let me show you. Let me show you. For anybody who came late. There's a boat. You can get on a boat. Sit out here having coffee. You don't have to be retired to live this life. And I think that's one of the big fallacies. Is you're supposed to work until you're 70 at this point in the U.S. before you can stop working and live this life. And in most cases, the hope is that you don't live that long. The government hopes you don't live that long. For countries that have pensions and Social Security and, you know, health care for seniors and stuff. Or if you do live that long, you're so impaired that you can't enjoy it. Who wants that? Well, there's ways to enjoy the life that you're living right now and really see the fruits of it. What if you could have your Western salary but live anywhere you want? Or have access to Western funds, programs, income sources, but you could live somewhere else where it makes more feasible sense. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why would I live somewhere else? Well, so many people complain about places like, let's say, New York, metropolitan cities, Chicago, Florida, Cali, and how expensive it is to live in these places. Food on my forehead. How expensive it is to live in these places, to afford them. People talking about, you know, closet-sized apartments for $3,500 a month, and your bathroom is down the hall. You know, stuff like that. You don't have to live like that. Well, what if you could start to position yourself in your employment in such? I'm gonna sit like this so y'all can see the water. What if you could position yourself to make the money through passive means that you've set up, because everything requires effort to set it up to become passive, or you could align yourself with online types of resources, work, so on and so forth, that affords you the ability to, you know, move where you want. So I'm just going to make this short video to encourage you guys. One tip, one thing that I wish I would have done before I started my journey, and that is start looking at all of the millions of options that are available to us, to you, especially if you're Western American. You know, I'm not going to talk about other countries, but just say it, you know, U.S. And you have access. Every day, take a little bit of time for yourself after you've worked, after you've given your time, your life, your dedication to your job. And I'm not talking about people who enjoy what you do and you don't ever want to leave. You don't think there's anything wrong with the climate right now. You're good. I'm not talking to you. You probably wouldn't be on my video anyway. But if you are, and you know somebody who's like, how do I do this? How do I how do I survive abroad? And there's so many facets to it. Obviously, it's to decide to make the decision to go, but it's also preparation because more times than not, you're gonna want to, do like sabbatical time, 6 months to a year. Can you survive for a year? And then what if your job doesn't let you? A lot of people tried that, doing that VPN, going abroad, and then losing their jobs because there is international law, there's tax law, there's reasons why companies won't support working abroad, and it's because of taxation. It's because of how it has to be reported. It's because of security issues, things like that. I worked in IT for 27 years. And so while you're like, well, I work from home, what's the big deal? I work from home in the States. Jurisdiction. It may not ultimately be like a physical issue. It may be simply because these are the rules in terms of how what our agreements are with foreign countries. Hilmar. I'm in Thailand. I'm in Thailand. Good morning. And so one of my biggest regrets is and this is so wild, you guys, because I have so many lines of business. If you know me, you know I have a beauty and bath line. You know I am a yoga guide. You know that I have, well, travel is my big thing now. I used to do podcasting and radio and different things like that. And so I have a number of lines of business already. I have a travel course that's already out. It's been out since 2021. I don't promote a whole lot of it, but my fault is that I created all these things, but didn't turn them into livelihood because I had them, and I want to say that is the one thing that I do regret is not building up those streams to be powerhouses now. And so that's where I am now. It's turning everything that I have that was physical into a digital marketplace. So creating everything in a space where you guys can retrieve it digitally, but I'm starting with the travel part because that's the nuance we're in right now. That's what everybody wants to know is how do you live this life, Ollie? Why aren't you working? I don't know what day it is. I think it's a weekday, but why aren't you working? And technically sharing information with you is my work. But one of the things that I would strongly encourage you guys to do is take 30 minutes to an hour a day to start researching what you want to do. Not necessarily what you want to do, but different ways to make money first. And before you turn your head and turn your nose up to day trading or, learning the stock game or learning real estate or, other online methods of making money, before you turn your nose up to where you go, oh my God, that's an MLM. Well, keep in mind that structured corporate jobs are MLMs. just FYI, look at the structure. You don't have to do the marketing part, but you have to do your part in order to keep the flow flowing so that you get paid. And so initially start with what are some of the things that are available, that are out there that, I could do whether I'm employed or not. Then look at what it is that you enjoy doing. If you already don't have a side hustle or something, some sort of business line or something that you've been wanting to create or do, start thinking about what you like to do. And then start aligning it. Y'all know, remember when we were in high school and your counselor was trying to help you figure out which, career planning and stuff, and they asked you all of your interests and things that you like, and then they did the little wheel and it showed you, like, depending on what you wanted to study, what type of career path you could expect to go in. And do the same thing for yourself now. We should be doing that every so many years anyway, right? Do that for yourself, and then look and say, okay, what is the base salary? What is like that average? And then look and say, okay, well, can I afford to live here? And after you say, can I afford to live here? Then say, okay, now I'm living. What do I want to do with the rest of my life? Do I just want to live? Do I just want to work to pay bills and not enjoy the fruits of my labor? And then say, well, Ali is enjoying the fruits of her labor, 38 years of work in regular corporate work. I'm still working now, but it's just not traditional. Um, is that living? Is this the life I want? Is this what I want? I want to get up at 8 or 9 in the morning, grab a coffee, come sit by the beach, some fresh air. The water's just watering, you know, before it gets too hot out here and becomes unbearable in its rainy season in Thailand right now. Do you want a life like this? And maybe you're like, well, the rest of my family's back in the States and they're not ready to move. I don't want to move. Okay. Well, do you want to position yourself to be able to go on longer term sabbaticals, take months off at a time without causing a break in whatever your income source is? You want to continue to work, you want to continue to build, things like that. These are some of the steps. You have to decide you want to do it, because one thing I know for certain, I don't need to know anybody, is oftentimes the reason we fail is because we haven't decided that we want to do something yet. We haven't made up our mind that this is what we want. So decide first for yourself. This is what you want to do. And then number 2, start going through the process of planning. What do I want? Oftentimes we're told we can't ask for what we want until we're retired, until we're about to retire. Well, it's too late then. What have you been working for if you don't know what you want? Right? We think we want the house, we think we want the cars, and maybe we do. And then, one of the things that you hear older people who are finally retired say that they regret not doing, 9.9 times out of 10, it's always, I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have created an avenue for myself to be able to travel, to be able to move about, to explore. It's always 9 times. If you ask 10 people, I guarantee 9 people, that's what they're going to say. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to constantly be this like cliche of, that type of life of, well, in another lifetime? And yeah, everybody can't do everything. But to say in the West with access that you can never travel, you can. But I'm also here not to try to convince you guys. This has to be something, this message, these types of messages are really for people who are already of this mindset. Who are already, aren't you my travel agent? Hey, Derek. I can be your travel advisor. I am a travel guide, a guidess. But yeah, oh, there's a flying fish. I don't know if he was flying, but he like jumped really high out of the water. But yeah, this is to have the access and opportunity that we have, and then say that you didn't get to do the one thing that you really wanted to do is so tough for me, for people that I know, because there's so many ways that you can do it, and I want to help. Like I want to provide the tools that you guys need to start to make these things legitimately real life scenarios for you, and not just something that you see on television. Or these are the long boats. Y'all see the long boat? Very similar to what you see in sorry y'all, it's not letting me zoom in. There you go. So who on my live is interested in living a different life, exploring, even if you're not ready to get up and leave because you think, well, everywhere else is third world. That's what you think, which we don't even use that terminology in my world unless we're talking about the States. Third world is an infrastructure problem, water issue, like running water, proper sanitation, and we have a lot of places in the U.S. that are lacking in those areas. That's what third world is. And so anyway, I want to share with you guys what you need to get started. And I have a travel course. Actually, you can get it. It'll probably be in the description. Go check out the travel course. I created it and when we were going through COVID, but it's still valid today because there's only like one module on COVID. And who knows, you may need that again. But it's all good information, and it's what you need, the guidelines, the steps that you need to start. Once you've done all the homework of deciding what you want to do, how you want to structure your life, you then need the plan to actually get up and go. And that's what my travel course actually does. Walks you through that. If you're really, really serious, set up a one-on-one clarity call with me. And this is how I make my income. This is how I survive out here. Because I'm already living it. I'm already out here. I've been out here for 5 years. It doesn't make sense for me not to share what I do and how I do it. So the one-on-one clarity call, and then the structured call after that is for the personal one-on-one, so the information I share here is really generic. It's for anybody to get started, but the one-on-one and the in-depth call is specific to your situation, your scenarios, things that I'm not going to answer on YouTube because we're not having a fluent dialogue. I mean, and so yeah. What can I do, you guys? I've got some guides that are going to be coming out. Those are going to be available on my website, and these are going to be some mini guides, as well as like branching off into more specific things for each town and each country. So I'm going to be sharing that. So even if you're just traveling and you're like, Ali, I'm coming to Thailand, I'm going to Bangkok, I'm going to Pattaya, I'm going to Chiang Mai, I'm going to Koh Samui. What can I do? You ain't leaving. You just ready to travel. Or you're coming. I got friends coming from Tanzania and they're coming to Thailand. I'm going to put these little guides together and they can grab them off my site. You can grab them in a bundle or you can grab them individually for the cities that you're going to, especially if you're going to do like pop in 4 or 5 days here or there. It's all you need. It's a mini companion, a one-pager. It tells you everything that you should do for those particular cities. Would that be helpful, you guys? Is that something that you could use? So yeah, don't let the fallacies and the information from people who are not moving stagnate you from moving. Don't let people who are terrified of walking outside of their neighborhood, getting on a plane, getting on a bus, exploring something outside of their norm, be the ones that restrict you from even doing a Google search. Don't let someone else's stagnation or fear be the thing that holds you back. from exploring. There's so much in the world. There's so much to see, so many people to meet. What if your love, your new best friend, your say next collaborative partner is somewhere on the other side of the world, and you never get to meet them because you were too afraid to get up and go. Okay, let me say that again because I think it timed out. Don't be so afraid of happiness, discovering happiness, like coming out and going, oh my God, I'm afraid to go because I'm afraid I ain't gonna want to come back, or I'm afraid to go because I'm afraid that, I'm gonna love it. Don't be so afraid of actually accomplishing your goals and having happiness for yourself so much to the point where you sabotage your own happiness. Where you basically decide to live in the space of preparing to say what you regret not doing. Plan now so you don't regret later. Y'all. Alright, you guys. I just was coming on live just to chat. The other thing, give me a thumbs up if you guys would be interested in seeing like different places that I've stayed. I do have video of a lot of apartments, condos, hotels that I've stayed in various places. And I could do like a little collage video or individual videos, sharing with you some places and just options in a from a budgetary standpoint. A lot of things that I do are for budget minded, but they are very accommodating. I've had some places that are like, now we ain't doing that again, but showing you that there's ways to have all of this and enjoy life and that kind of thing without breaking the bank, especially if you are living between two places, which is kind of how I started. And so I had my house in the States for my first 2.5 years, and I was living abroad. So I can share some of that information with you too. Anyway, let me know how I can help you. What can I do? What else can I show you? I've got playlists in my YouTube. Go and check out the playlist. Watch a little bit, see what's enticing. I have some of the countries I've visited. Definitely not all of the countries. But if there's a particular country that you're interested in. I was just talking about Albania and Greece and Italy and Sicily last night with some friends that I met here, from house sitting for them, and now we hang out. People ask, how do you socialize with people? Ali, I'm not a kind of person that gets up and goes and talks to people. You don't have to. I have a whole module on social engagement and emotional health in my travel course, because you can ignore all these things if you want. And I think a lot of times in the States, when we work, we're ignoring our social engagement and our mental health anyway, our emotional health anyway. We're not really focused on strengthening it because we're about the grind. We're about going to work every day. We're about proving to everybody that we can work the longest and work the hardest. And so we miss out. So many people have no social life in the States. But the first thing they'll say is, yeah, but how do you have a social life abroad? Start with getting one in the States. Start practicing some of these things in the States. And that's why I say, please don't wait until, if you're a person who questions and doesn't have the ability to kind of go with the flow and advance from that, start practicing some of these things before you decide to cut the cord. The whole point in doing anything is to be successful at it, right? Right? So, let me help you help you. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I just want to come on and say what's up. Share a little bit. Nothing too heavy. Nothing too stressful. But just living the life as a friendly reminder. All right, let me get out of here.